Her piglets were only 2 weeks old when a pack of Africa's deadliest hunters caught their scent near the burrow. Wild dogs hunt with terrifying coordinations, a 90% kill rate that makes them Africa's most efficient predators alive. She had no tusks sharp enough to kill, no size to intimidate, only raw desperation and a mother's fury. The burrow was her family's only shelter, a shallow den dug beneath a fallen log at the forest's edge. 4 tiny piglets huddled inside, barely able to walk, completely dependent on their mother's protection to survive. She had left briefly to forage nearby, never straying far enough to lose sight of the burrow entrance. Wild dogs hunt across massive territories, covering up to 50 kilometers in a single relentless day of searching. The pack's alpha female caught the warthog's scent trail first, signaling silently to the rest of her pack. 11 dogs moved as one unit, spreading into a hunting formation practiced over countless successful kills before. The mother warthog froze mid-forage, every muscle tensing as she caught the unmistakable scent of approaching danger. She turned immediately, sprinting back toward the burrow with a speed few would expect from her stocky frame. The wild dogs had already begun closing the distance, their long legs built for exactly this kind of chase. She reached the burrow entrance just seconds before the lead dog, positioning her body directly across the opening. The piglets inside squealed in terror, sensing the danger through their mother's sudden, rigid, defensive posture. 11 wild dogs surrounded the burrow entrance within moments, forming a tight semicircle around the lone mother. She lowered her head, tusks pointed forward, letting out an aggressive warning grunt meant to intimidate the pack. The alpha female tested first, darting forward to gauge the warthog's reaction time and defensive capabilities. She charged instantly, her tusks slashing dangerously close, forcing the alpha to retreat with a startled yelp. But charging left her burrow entrance briefly unguarded, a risk the patient pack had been waiting for. 2 dogs immediately darted toward the exposed burrow, sensing this rare opportunity to reach the vulnerable piglets. She spun around with surprising speed, her tusks catching one dog across the shoulder in a desperate block. The wounded dog retreated yelping, but the pack was already regrouping for their next coordinated attempt. This was only the opening exchange. 11 coordinated hunters against one exhausted mother had barely begun. The pack adopted a new strategy, splitting into 3 groups to attack from multiple angles simultaneously this time. She could no longer defend every angle at once. This pack was smarter and faster than anything she'd faced. 3 dogs approached from the front, while others circled to test both flanks of her narrow burrow entrance. She backed fully into the burrow entrance, using the narrow opening to force any attacker into a single angle. The tension was unbearable, as all 3 groups inched closer, testing whether exhaustion had finally weakened her. She let out a piercing warning squeal, desperate and defiant, echoing across the quiet grassland around them. Nearby, a family of warthogs grazing at a safe distance heard her distress call and began moving cautiously closer. But help was still minutes away, and every second felt critical as the pack tightened their circle further. One dog fainted toward her left, while another used the distraction to attempt a strike from her blind side. She caught the deception just in time, swinging her powerful head to intercept the flanking attacker's approach. Her tusk caught the dog across the leg, sending it limping backward, injured but still dangerously nearby. 9 dogs remained now, but her energy was fading fast, each defensive strike draining her limited strength further. The piglets squealed louder now, sensing their mother's exhaustion through the trembling vibrations of her body. The dogs sensed her fatigue too, growing bolder with each passing moment, closing the distance more aggressively now. In the distance, low grunting sounds began building, not from dogs, but from a rapidly approaching warthog family. The dogs hadn't noticed yet, too focused on their exhausted target to register the approaching threat behind them. She held her ground with everything she had left, refusing to abandon the entrance despite crippling exhaustion. The dust cloud grew larger and closer, several warthogs now clearly visible charging across the open grassland. One wild dog finally noticed the approaching group, letting out an alarmed warning bark to the rest of the pack. Panic rippled through the pack as 5 adult warthogs charged into view, tusks lowered and moving at full speed. The wild dogs scattered in every direction, abandoning their siege against odds that had suddenly turned against them. The warthog family surrounded the exhausted mother and her burrow within seconds, forming a protective barrier. She finally allowed herself to relax, her legs trembling as exhaustion overtook her adrenaline-fueled body completely. Other warthogs in the group approached, gently nuzzling her in a rare display of communal comfort and support. The 4 piglets, still trembling from the ordeal, emerged cautiously to nurse for the first time since the attack. This is the reality of motherhood in the wild, where courage and instinct together can overpower impossible odds. Her story is one of countless battles. Mothers fight silently across Africa every day, most never witnessed by anyone. If this story moved you, know that warthog mothers face threats like this every single season across the continent. If you want more real stories of survival, courage, and unbreakable maternal instinct, make sure you're subscribed today. Drop a comment below. What would you have done in her place? Thank you for witnessing her incredible journey today.